Welcome to Framework Fortune. We are back, and what a week it has been. A lot of craziness going on. A lot of people talking a lot of crazy stuff. I just gotta, I guess, keep the. Oh Lord, here goes the dog. Hold on, let's get him to calm down. Shh. All right. What a way to start the stream out. Guys, I've been going hard. I've already just met Kevin today, debunked his claims of Axie Infinity. We'll talk about that later. But as we can see right now, we've got the NASDAQ going absolutely insane, all the way almost back up to 13,000. Now, I am not surprised, even though I've been very bearish. I am still very bearish overall in the market, but I'm not surprised to see this. And the reason is because Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve went soft. So before I dive into all the technical analysis and all of that, we're actually going to watch a 5 minute, I mean, not even that long clip that I took from the Fed meeting, the Fed announcement yesterday, and I'm going to go through it. You guys will be able to hear it. I'm going to point everything out that is just unbelievably nonsense. There's more than just what comes out of Jerome Powell's mouth. We're going to react live to this, and yeah. Go ahead and I guess start the playlist on the Framework Fortune channel for the Framework Fortune Graveyard, because Trading Monkey was yesterday. Today, this morning's Meet Kevin, and now it's Jerome Powell. Let's get into it, baby. Woo!
Activity in the housing sector has weakened, in part reflecting higher mortgage rates. And after a strong increase in the first quarter, business fixed investment also looks to have declined in the second quarter. Despite these developments, the labor.
Okay, so first thing that I noticed during this, I had to point out. Why is this flag, this American flag here, got this dirty stain? It looked like Biden might have walked by, thought it was a napkin, sneezed on it, something like that. I don't know what's going on here, but this is the head of the U.S. Central Bank with a flag behind him with a dookie stain on it. Like, that's the first thing I noticed and was like, okay, this is going to be a joke. But let him continue his nonsense, and I'll start pointing out where he really starts talking stupid.
Market has remained extremely tight, with the unemployment rate near a 50-year low, job vacancies near historical highs, and wage growth elevated.
Okay, wage growth elevated. That is your metric you're going off of. The wages are paid in US dollar. We are currently, from your metrics, Jerome Powell, at 9.1% inflation. That means the wages are higher because of the 11% inflation. That is not, or 9% true CPI, which I've done a video in the past before. You can find that on the channel. But the true CPI is around actually about 18. But off of their core, or not even a core CPI, I'll point that out here in a little bit. Actually, he actually says it on this video. But the wages are in US dollars and the US dollar is inflated, then no duh, wage growth is going to be inflated. All right.
Past 3 months, employment rose by an average of 375,000 jobs per month, down from the average pace seen earlier in the year, but still robust. Improvements in labor market conditions have been widespread, including for workers at the lower end of the wage distribution, as well as for African Americans and Hispanics. Labor demand is very strong, while labor supply remains subdued, with the labor force participation rate little changed since January. Overall, the continued strength of the labor market suggests that underlying aggregate demand remains solid. Inflation remains well above our longer-run goal of 2%. Over the
Hold on a second, said my audio is bad. Okay. Let me check something real quick. Can you hear Jerome Powell's audio? And make sure my mic is working. It should be. Oh, there we go. Now you should have me a lot clearer. All right. There we go. Okay. Okay, cool. We'll start this over. I'm going to point out what I said again just really quickly at the beginning of this video.
Reflecting higher mortgage rates.
Oops. Okay. So the first thing was the flag. This is the first thing I noticed. Why there's this brown spot on the flag behind the lead, top of the Central Bank of the United States on live TV and YouTube everywhere. Like, I don't know if Biden walked by and thought it was a napkin and blew his nose in it or what, but this is just insanity and just looks really bad on the U.S. But now let him continue.
And after a strong increase in the first quarter, business fixed investment also looks to have declined in the second quarter. Despite these developments, the labor market has remained extremely tight, with the unemployment rate near a 50-year low, job vacancies near historical highs, and wage growth elevated.
So what I was saying about right here when he said the wage growth elevated, inflation's 9.1%. You're paid in U.S. dollars, so if the U.S. dollar's inflated 9.1%, then your wages would be going, up. They're going to raise your wages. But just because you say you are making $25 now, that $25 is not the same buying power as it would have been before 9.1% inflation. But we'll continue from there.
Over the past 3 months, employment rose by an average of 375,000 jobs per month.
Let's see. You said it's a bloodstain of a fallen vet? I did not see them say anything about that. If it is, okay, that makes sense. But I didn't know that. And most of the rest of the world looking at this, if they didn't see that, was either. So I'm just talking perception-wise. If that's the case, that makes sense. That would make complete sense. But you got to keep in mind, this is being filmed, and that is a perception. Okay, so if that is the case, I definitely will take my comments back on that. But I don't know. You'd have to verify that. But either way, like I said, the perception matters.
Per month, down from the average pace seen earlier in the year, but still robust. Improvements in labor market conditions have been widespread, including for workers at the lower end of the wage distribution, as well as for African Americans and Hispanics. Labor demand is very strong, while labor supply remains subdued, with the labor force participation rate little changed since January. Overall, the continued strength of the labor market suggests that underlying aggregate demand remains solid.
So,
inflation remains well above our longer-run goal.
Okay, I have to stop it here because what he just said, these two fellows right here, the bald fellow and this one especially, you watch their facial expressions, they're probably thinking the same thing I am. He said the labor market is strong and all of that. I just went to Walgreens the other day on a Saturday. If you follow me in the other live streams, I said this. Walgreens was shut down at 4 p.m. on a Saturday. That is all types of businesses. There is problems with the labor forces. You do not need any type of metrics to look at that. You can just go down the street. And watch this. I'm going to scroll this back just a little bit and watch this guy's reaction right here especially. This reaction is hilarious. This is my reaction when I first saw this. Watch right.
Subdued, with the labor force participation rate little changed since January. Overall, the continued strength of the labor market suggests that underlying aggregate demand remains solid. Inflation remains well above our longer-run goal of 2%. Over the 12 months ending in May, total PCE prices rose 6.3% category. Change in the consumer pricing.
Oh, see, where's that?
Well above our longer run goal of 2%.
Yes. Look at his face. He's like, his eye. Like, he's like, what? All right, so we already know all the rest of the stuff he said if you watch this. You guys keep saying my audio is bad. Let me see. Maybe it's a little bit too high. What's happening here? Okay. How's that? Is that better? HKD. We'll take a look at some stocks here as soon as we get done talking about this, because this is directly related to the big bounce we've seen in the NASDAQ and all the stocks across the penny stocks and everything running crazy since the announcement yesterday. We'll get into all that here in just a little bit more. There's a few more things I want to point out. Now, we know what all he said through all that. There's a bunch of nonsense, that guy's reaction. But one other thing that I want to find here is I want to point this out. When he gets to the questioning part, the first question he gets right here.
Stability, and to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run.
I mean, for one, like, if you are the head of the Federal Reserve, the fact that you need a whole bunch of paperwork to read off of to tell everybody what's happening, that's kind of scary too. You know, he barely even looked up from these papers. Most of the time, he kept his head down, eyes down, which shows that by body language psychology, he doesn't believe what he's saying. He doesn't believe what he's reading. He knows what the truth is, and he knows this isn't the truth, and he can't even look America in the eye and tell them. So, but I would right here let this run real quick and watch this right here.
To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
Well, there's definitely some big red flags.
See, where's she at? Right here. I'm going to blow this up real good so you can see this. Alright, I'm going to move my mouse away. Now, this shot right here could be a commercial. The cameraman, I could scroll back and show you, but you can watch through this video yourself and see this for yourself. The cameraman is in the corner facing her, perfectly capturing this Aquafina bottle and the Apple MacBook here. And then you have one nonchalant Aquafina bottle sitting back here. Of course, there was tons of them if you were paying attention. Everybody's got Aquafina bottles. But the way this one is perfectly placed towards the camera to show that Aquafina, the same with the Apple. She is a Washington Post journalist. She was the first one to question and threw him a softball question. It was a weak question, but this was clearly staged. I mean, this is beautiful. Like, if I could do a Aquafina postcard to send to somebody, this would be it. You know, Aquafina should hop on this right now and make this a commercial. All right, so other than that, I mean, he got hit by a second question. The second person, I believe, was from Wall Street Journal, maybe. And actually, I don't think it was Wall Street Journal, but she hit him pretty hard. And all he did was just repeat exactly what he just said in the press announcements that he read off the pieces of paper. So, with it only being a 0.75 basis, whatever, 3/4 point rate hike, most of us were expecting more than that. I was expecting 1 point rate hike because inflation is still getting higher, even though they just did a 3/4 point rate hike not that long ago. Inflation still went up. Doing the same thing is only going to do nothing. Again, it's just not enough to make inflation come down. So don't be surprised if in another month or two the CPI comes out again and it's higher. Now, by the time that all comes out, this is all lining up with what I've been saying about in October, the feds are going to fully reverse course. This was pretty good confirmation of that because they went this soft. That means they can't even raise the interest rates a point. If they could have, they would have, but they know that they can't. And here's the reason why. The interest rate hike, if you're new to the stock market or all of this financial world, the interest rate hike includes interest on every bit of debt across the whole entire United States, including the U.S. government. We are $30 trillion in debt. We also have printed the dog piss out of the U.S. dollar. 60-year downtrend on the U.S. dollar index. It has been popping lately, but there's been reasons for that. But it's still not even anywhere close to what it was 60 years ago. That means that all that debt, you're going to have to pay more interest on. So that $30 trillion in debt that the government is in, they would have to pay a whole point interest rate. That means a whole point interest, 1% interest of 30 trillion. Now, I could calculate it real quick, but it's obviously a big number, and that would be the interest payments that we are making. We are currently not even making our current interest payments. So this is pretty good confirmation. It's done. The feds can't control it. It's out of control. They're softened already. The elections are coming around in November. Neither Republicans or Democrats are going to want to try to get people to come out to the polls and vote and pay $5, $8 in gas, because if inflation keeps going up, so will gas. The feds will have to reverse course. This is pre-reversal as it is. And then they're going to start up the stimmy checks and the money printer again. And we could see another bull run in the NASDAQ and in cryptos and everything else, like we saw from the QE that started in 2020, which actually QE started in 2008. But that's when they really kicked in the burners. So this is why we're seeing the NASDAQ popping up. They did not raise the interest rates enough to cause too much of effect to the payments. I mean, still, 3/4 a point on 30 trillion is a lot, but that extra 0.25 would be quite a bit more. So people are feeling good about that. They're feeling like, don't fight the feds. So we're getting a huge bounce, nice strong bounce up to 13K. However, we are getting rejected. At the moment, all these stocks today, let me actually go to the top 10% NASDAQ gainer list. I'm going to take this out of my ear now. So maybe maybe that's why my audio is kind of crazy, because I couldn't really hear myself. So I know in the penny stock world, we had a lot of big rips this morning. I was watching that on H&H Trader. Live stream. If you haven't yet, go check out H Trader's channel. Let's see, NASCAR All Out. You said historically rising interest rates correlate with a rising S&P. Right. That's because we're not in a historical time at the moment. We've never been $30 trillion in debt with the U.S. dollar this weak in purchasing power, and a actual competitive country, China, actively trying to take over as the world reserve currency, along with everything going on with the World Econ Forum and the World Health Organization. If you didn't know this, 2 months ago, we signed over a sovereignty for food, energy, and health to the World Health Organization, us and 141 other countries. You can go to the World Health Organization website and see it for yourself. But these are definitely not historical times. That's something I've been talking about a lot for the past 6 months on this channel. We're in crazy times, and it's not going to be an apocalyptic end of the world. Every time I start talking about this, people think that I'm doom and glooming, and that's not the case. You go back through history, every single empire has had a rise and then a fall. It is just America's time. That's all it is. Some other empire will take the lead for a time period. When you look at America, you're only looking at 400 years or 600 years, whatever we're at now, I don't even know, of being a country. For that, even if it was 1,000 years, it's not that long compared to every other country, especially if you go back and look at the Chinese and Japanese dynasties. Plenty of examples of empires rising and falling. So we're just in that same historical cycle, and when we get to this part where the empire is falling, of course it's going to be ugly, it's going to be rough, but it's not the end of the world. We are just going to be a little worse off than we are now. Maybe not even a little worse, maybe quite a bit worse if things continue. I don't see a reason of how the feds or the government can change this, unless my only optimism is because the rest of the world besides South America is rejecting decentralized cryptos and blockchain technology. America could jump on that, and that could actually bring in tons of GDP, which could help take out a lot of that debt, and then we would be a country that's actually ahead of the curve on blockchain technology, because there's no question at this point that blockchain technology has taken over every industry, if you know anything about that sector. Even Kevin O'Leary himself said that blockchain should be the, I think, 13th sector of the stock market. I don't know what he said, 12th or 13th, something like that. But anyway, yeah, this it's just a cycle that's repeating over and over again. But psychology and history seminar. Well, yeah, when we're talking about cycles in the stock market, W.D. Gann is somebody you can go look up and read books from. Daniel B. You might enjoy some of his stuff. A whole lot of cycles, a whole lot of studies on cycles. He's not the only one, but Josie Wells, one of our good friends and future traders, has studied W.D. Gann quite a bit. My cycle studies have been on other places, but Gann and what I've come up with have quite a bit of similarities. But anyway, as far as what is going to happen or what could happen, like I said, I think we will see them completely reverse course in October before the elections. They'll want people happy during the elections. And you don't have to fix the economy to make people happy. You just have to fix the perception of the economy, right? So if they start printing more money and start sending out more stimulus checks, people are going to go out spend more money because we have a consumer economy. That's going to show a nice artificial GDP growth. That's going to allow them to probably bring gas prices down some. Right at this point where we've been at $5 and $6, some places $8 gas, and then we just had this recent price dip in oil, people are happy about $3.50 in gas. You don't have to fix the problem. You just have to make the problem way worse and then just put a Band-Aid on it to make people en masse happy. So that's what we're seeing actually transpiring and what their plan is pretty much at this point. Because there's no way that they can fix the damage. The economy's damage that's done is irreversible at this point with any of the Fed's tools. As I've shown before, our U.S. gold reserves are low, very low. So we don't really have anything to back the currency And I mean, we don't even have manufacturing hardly. So, because said we're a whole consumer economy. We just buy, buy. And then what happens when there's no more money to buy with? It's going to be buy. As simple as I can put it. But that's over a longer time frame. As far as the short time frame, I expected the NQ to jump up off of that soft announcement. Kind of went up a little faster than I thought. I didn't really expect it to get to 13 this fast. I thought it might be tomorrow before it did that. So that's a little sketchy. We'll see. Like I said, that rejection there at 13, which if I pull up the daily chart, we look at the analysis here, the technical analysis, that is a strong line from previous chart history of support back here and resistance now through here. So if the NASDAQ cannot break that, then it definitely will have another pullback. And it's good that it broke over 12.5, because if it would have cracked 12.5 continuously like it was and finally cracked 12,000, we would have got real ugly. So one of the things about the Feds doing tightening, they did still say, Jerome Powell did still say that they are offloading assets. You know, their balance sheet is in the trillions. They're offloading assets. They're not buying, so this push is not coming from the Feds. As a matter of fact, I guarantee the Feds are selling into this push. Now, where they're going to keep selling at to stop the market from going any higher, probably right up here at this downtrend. So it is a possibility this next week we may see the NQ back up to 3,500. As the NQ is having these big green days, of course, all the stocks mostly are having big green days. Let's see, I've just got some random stuff on my list right now. But I didn't trade. Okay, no, SIGA, that's the one that's been one of our main watches in the Framework Fortune community. Look at that. Beautiful. I don't know if you guys made money off of this today because I haven't really had a chance to check the Discord too much. But, yeah, great. Beautiful run. HH Trader, shout out to him, called this play out back in May. So, very nice rip up to 22. And this is a monkeypox stock. Monkeypox was declared global health emergency by the World Health Organization. So it's no surprise at all to see it bust off of this uptrend. This is a beautifully perfect uptrend. You know, you got nice green candles, then little pullback, nice straight stream into green candles, little pullback, and then we did get a little yank down there for a second, and that was the day where the NASDAQ was really giving it up. I think that was Wednesday and yesterday. Let's see, Wednesday and this morning before the announcement, the NASDAQ had dropped pretty low, and so that's not the one, right? Let's see, when was that? 722. Oh, so that's not it. No, oh yeah, that's right. It was Wednesday and yesterday before the announcement that the NASDAQ was going down, but SIGA was running against the NASDAQ. That's what it was. Now I remember correctly. So surprisingly, GovX, another play, looks like it didn't get too much action today. That's a monkeypox stock play. Looks like SIGA had a lot of the attention. Well, SIGA up there, 22%. That was a pretty big run, though. What's up, Reliable Rudy? If you guys haven't yet, Reliable Rudy, new member to the Framework Fortune Media Network, go check out his channel. Plenty of content he's already put out in just this week about stock market planning, Roth IRAs, all that type of stuff that I absolutely hate. But that's why we have different opinions, different viewpoints on the Framework Fortune community, because we can debate, discuss, and make each other better. But yeah, check him out. let's see. What do we got going on? Problem with cycles. Nobody know where a cycle start and where it ends. No, I completely disagree, Daniel B. When it rains, you know it's raining. The rain goes into the ground and the sun comes out, and then what happens? The rain turns into gas and goes back up into the atmosphere. You can easily tell the start and beginning of a cycle. That's just precipitation. Scientists figured that one out a long time ago. So you're gonna try again on that one, bud. All right, and let's see. One life you said expected, but I didn't trade when 75 was consensus. I don't know what you're talking about. Stomps and chomps. The only thing you have to say about all this: if the country goes to crap, all French Revolutionary style, I'll call dibs on wearing Pelosi like a fancy neck scarf, like Ace Ventura. That was fire. That was fire, Stomps and Chomps. That comment killed me. Oh man, it was funny halfway through and then it just kept going. That was nice. Nice. Scientists like me. So Daniel B, you're saying on this live stream now that you do not believe in precipitation? You think that scientists did not figure out precipitation? That's not a cycle that you can call? Is that the hill you want to die on? Go get back in the graveyard with the other zombies. Stop talking crazy. All right, anyway. So let's see. NASDAQ did close. Let me go into a 15-minute here and see what we're kind of looking like. Yeah, so we got about 7 minutes on this candle. You can see where we had that big explosion, but now it's slowed down quite a bit in after hours. And it normally slows down. I mean, the whole market kind of slows down after hours, right after it closes. Oh, wait, is NQ still going on right now? Oh, we're not to close yet, are we? Yeah, we are. We're in after hours. Oh, I know what I'm thinking. The NQ, the future, should close for an hour. They usually close for an hour after the market closes, but it is pushing right now. Maybe it was only a 30-minute close. I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't been keeping a very close eye on the NASDAQ as much because I just knew it was ripping, which of course with the NASDAQ ripping and everybody feeling better about the light interest rate hike, cryptos is ripping too. Ethereum's pushed all the way up almost to 1,800. Bitcoin almost up to 25,000. Atom's been pushing over 11. You know, it's getting hot all over the place. We got gold pushing back up to 1750. Silver with a big explosion. This is a very big move for silver. So I kind of would expect a pullback on silver and silver stocks at this $20 area, but bouncing from 1850 all the way up to $20, a $1.50 move on a giant commodity like this in that short a time period is pretty crazy. So there's definitely, and if you scroll back, we're getting close to the big overall wedge where I think the institutions holding down the silver prices are going to get squeezed out, just like we saw in the London Metals Exchange with J.P. Morgan Chase and that whatever that nickel tycoon is from China that got destroyed, and they're probably still getting destroyed. Let's see where nickel's at, just out of curiosity, because they're still short on the nickel market, trying to hold those prices down. But that was a massive short squeeze. I covered that 3 or 4 months ago. Where's my nickel? Did I knock nickel off here? I must have. Well, anyway, that's not that important at the moment. So yeah, with all that, we're seeing everything ripping. That's the thing. Index stock futures are trading for 24 hours. Most futures trade 23 hours. Maybe this version of the NQ I'm looking at is not, maybe because like you're saying it's an index. But normally this one closes. I see this one close all the time. I don't know. Daniel B. You just said some crazy stuff, so I don't even know if I'm going to entertain all that. I want to see what else was ripping today, though, besides SIGA. At this point, though, SIGA, like I said, is way off that trend line. Needs to come back down, bounce off of the trend line. It's just way too high up. Actually making a double top currently on the 1 hour chart and after hours here. So, it's not like the economy has gotten better. It's not like the stock market has actually gotten better. Inflation is not getting better. Nothing is really getting better. So don't be surprised if we don't see a big rebound. Like this may be the rebound, and that may be it. Because again, the bigger institutions and insider traders and all that stuff, the Federal Reserve alerted them beforehand. So, that's where the buying pressure originally started. But if that's the case and all these hedge funds got in and pushed all these stocks up, then that means they'll be ready to turn around and short them and drop them. I just don't see why shorters would be getting nervous right now. Like, that's the thing. Is there a reason for shorters to be nervous after this? Not really. Especially long bias shorters or long-term shorters. Oh, yeah, let me pull up HKD and see what happened with that one. So, wow, yeah, that thing exploded over the last week. Friday it was down at $20. Today up to $200. AMTD digital shares. Oh, is this an Asian ADR? Because that would make more sense. We gotta do some research real quick. Let's look this thing up. It looks like it may be an Asian ADR. Whoops, where did you go? HKD. Pull this chart back down. Hop into my daily chart. Okay, this looks like it just IPO'd, 13 days ago? Or at least uplisted, maybe from the OTCs. I'm not sure because I'm not familiar with this stock. This thing is so high up, though. This is a death trap waiting. I mean, I don't know if you like. What do you want me to tell you about this? What are you looking for? Let's see. You see stocks jump from $2 to $20 on occasion, but $20 to $200 is so. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you want me to explain why it ripped this hard? We'll have to get into the news here. Let me see what's happening with the news. Oh, first let me analyze. Let me take it over to analyze. And, or not analyze, educate. I'm blanking out. Which one is it? It's not that one. Actually, you know what? Let's just take it up on TradingView. I'm looking at HKD. Okay. I like TradingView better when it comes to looking at that type of stuff. Go to stocks. AMD Digital. Let's figure out why this thing ripped so big. Real quick, we're going to draw the uptrend. God, this is a steep uptrend too. Something about like that, because it did dip right here, but I wouldn't want to put that as the bottom of the uptrend because you have way more candles connecting here and back here than you would if you did it like this. It'd be a kind of a false reading there. And that's a good uptrend. And actually, it's in a channel. Nice sloping channel. Okay, so one thing to note why I'm just doing this analysis, it is hitting right at the top of this channel. More than likely is going to pull back. This is on the hour chart. Let me look at the daily. Oh God, yeah, this has got to have some type of pullback soon. Now, in my history of trading, I have seen stocks run from $2 to $50 to even $5 to $100. It happens occasionally. We do see some crazy, massive rips. About, I think it was 3 years ago in November, through pretty much the fall to Christmas, shipping companies, trucking companies went ballistic. There was multiple of them top shipping, DCIX, ships, was the other one. There was one that went real crazy. It went, I think it went from around $8 to like $180. I can't remember what the name of that one was though. But all of them in 1 week just went nuts. I mean, just the biggest rips, crazy rips, nothing like it on the whole year. And sometimes that just happens. Especially right now, we're in a very volatile market. With everything going on, people are running around like crazy right now. They don't know whether the stock market's crashing. They don't know if the feds are actually doing anything. They don't know what the government's doing. Who knows what the government's doing right now? They're doing all kinds of weird and crazy stuff and not talking about the economy. I don't know what to say about all that, but let's get into this actual. Okay, so AMD is a holdings company which engages in development of digital solutions application under the SpiderNet platform. It operates through SpiderNet ecosystem. Okay, we're just going to jump to SpiderNet then and figure out what the hell this is. Right there it is, SpiderNet Enterprise. I believe, let me make sure this is the right one. Whoops. Put that over here. See, that is, where did you go? SpiderNet Ecosystem Solutions. Let me make sure. I don't want to be analyzing the wrong thing. SpiderNet Ecosystem Solution, something like that. I should pull it up, whatever. Ah, here we go. Here's the right website. See, good thing I did that. You always want to double check yourself. Yeah, it's a totally different website now. What was that? Is this thing interactive with my mouse? Oh, look at there. Wow. 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 Okay. Sorry. I'm easily distracted. So, to serve as a super connector for Asia-based entrepreneurs and corporates. So this is an Asian ADR. One thing, or more than likely, what are we looking at here? Let me get back to my charts. HKD is an Asian ADR, which means that it's not one share of stock. Asian ADRs are actually a group of Asian stocks. So like this company, AMTD Digital, by buying this in the NASDaq, you're actually buying a block, a group of those stocks from the Chinese market in a way. And I believe this is China. I don't know. More than likely is. But that's one thing to consider. So, like, if a bunch of people are buying a bunch of blocks of stock, that is definitely going to add more volume and more push to the price, right? Because it's not just one stock that people are buying, or 100 stocks or something like that. They're buying. It's similar almost to an options contract, but it's not a contract. It's just ADRs are just the shares. It's just multiple shares of that company, simply enough. So that could explain part of that exploding that crazy. But let's see what we got going on here. Anything new? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. Blah, blah. We're still talking nonsense. What do we got here? Business partners? Who's your business partners? I can't even see your business partners. guess I could zoom in. I really don't want to, but let's zoom in and see who their business partners are, because it is good to know, you know, those who roll together. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, the zoom. Whoops, too far. There we go. All right. So Xiaomi, SP Group, Digfin, Royal Corporation, Mob Vista. I don't. Interesting name there. Forecast.news spelled with a K. Okay. Bunch of educations or educational colleges, including University of Waterloo in there for some reason. APIX Exchange Platform, Asset Financial Innovation Network. I believe this is almost a blockchain type of deal, but this is probably not an actual blockchain. Value Partners, Morgan Stanley. There's a big name. Interesting. Now, oh boy. This company is all about the Great Reset. I'll show you exactly why. This is crazy. Why we got to get into this, but we're going to. Oh man. What? There we go. Okay, let's see here. Where's the Great Reset on their website? Yeah, if you didn't know about the World Econ Forum and Klaus Schwab and pretty much Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, a whole bunch of other American supposedly companies that are all working with the whole rest of the world to put on this Great Reset, which is going to be crazy. But just to show you real quick, where did it go? Oh, if you want to see too, you can just look at their partners, global shapers. Oh, right here, here's their partners. I'll show you guys this real quick, just so you know that this is not conspiracy theory. Here's the A's. Right there's Amazon. Whoops. Let's see. I'm trying to pick out other names. I mean, there's just so many. Oh, right there's AMTD. Right there it is. Look at that. Financial service conglomerate. Asset management, digital financial solutions, insurance brokers. What can I say, guys? I'm good at doing research. That's what I'm good at doing. I may be bad at everything else. You guys can mock me for my trading, but I'm good at research. There you go. AMTD's part of the World Econ Forum, and now let's go ahead and pull up the Great Reset, and I'll show you what triggered in my head that was probably them. They're probably a part of the World Econ Forum. Let's see. I want to do it as, let's see, because it's easy to find if you just put in the World Econ Forum Great Reset. It's still their same website. It's just easy to get there. Right here go. WeForum.org. Yep, same website. This week's Great Reset podcast. One of the things, globalization was already under attack before. Yeah, well, because it's not globalization they're looking for. It's massive global centralization. They left the central out of that word. That's why I'm such a big advocate for crypto and decentralization, because this is what we're fighting against. You know, everybody thought this was conspiracy. It's not conspiracy. I'm sorry to tell you, they got podcasts and everything. But the thing that caught my attention was on SpiderNet's ecosystem, this right here, other stakeholders. So they got the shareholders in the stock, but they've got these other stakeholders. And the only other people using the term stakeholder is the World Econ Forum for the Great Reset. Let's see if I can just search at the top for stakeholder and see if it comes up. They call it stakeholder capitalism. Yep, right here. World Econ Forum agenda, January 2021. I have been talking about this for since then, maybe before then. But let's see. Stakeholder capitalism is a form of capitalism in which companies seek long-term value creation by taking into account of needs of all of their stakeholders in society at large. So that was what triggered it. Whoops. That was the Meet Kevin diss video earlier. So, I mean, that would be why. That would be why HKD exploded, is because they are part of the World Econ Forum, part of the Great Reset, and this is a big pump from them, clearly. I mean, if we can go back to those partners again, point out a few more partners besides Amazon. Let's just go to the G's, so you can see Google's in there too, so you can see I'm not messing around. Right there, Google at the top. Google, GE, been a lot of news about GE lately. GE's been going up, surprise, surprise. Let's see who else we got in here. That's not Citigroup, that's Citigroup. Goldman Sachs, I mean, is anybody surprised by that at all? Goldman Sachs, you know. Yeah. We can go into the T's. Like, this is how big the World Econ Forum is. This is not some little joke or group. TD Bank Group, TikTok, Time, let's see, Toyota, Turkey Wealth Fund, you know, Coca-Cola, Lego, for God's sakes. The little toys that we loved as kids to build with. Lego is a part of the World Econ Forum Great Reset. Tyson Foods too. You know, chicken. Yeah, they're one of the largest multi-protein producers. Notice how they word this stuff. Protein producers. All right, I'm done with all this nonsense. But yeah, if you want to check all that out, all you got to do is Google it, World Econ Forum, and it's all right there. Let's see. Okay, let me get back to some of the comments here. NASCAR. That's right. DRYS. You're exactly right. That was one of the stocks I was trying to talk about. That was a shipper. Thank you. So you must know what I'm talking about. Let's see. You said Livermore Holdings Limited was the underwriter who brought HK. Was Livermore on that World Econ Forum? Did you see them or something? We got some nonsense from One Life and them. Can I explain more what types of shares of HKD, ADRs? Yeah, well, yeah, that's a decent little lesson we can pop into here real quick. So we're actually going to learn together a little bit here because I don't know what to put in Google. Go away, Google. I use Brave. If you're not using Brave, use Brave browser. Download it. Get paid in basic attention token. Here, I'll just show you real quick. I'll open a new tab. Right now, it's about $15 in basic attention token that can be taken from the Brave wallet and sent to Coinbase to be cashed out or whatever. Instead of you giving all your information to Google and them selling it, you can be on Brave where you get to protect your information and get paid for it. That's the beauty of blockchain. But hey, all those Tulip Mania people out there think that it's a joke. All right, anyway, where was we at? Oh, Asian ADRs. We'll just look up ADRs. What is an ADR? Because I believe there's a specific amount in each ADR, but it's based on the company. But this is from Investopedia. This is a trusted source. I use it all the time. Sometimes you do want to check who the writers and authors are, but this is just for a basic definition and for us to learn together here real quick the exact details on ADR. So it means American Depository Receipt.
I mean, we could just kept calling it ADRs. That was a lot easier. I didn't really need to know that. But refers to negotiable certificate issued by a U.S. depository bank representing a specific number of shares. And this one says usually one share of a foreign company stocks, but Asian ADRs normally are not one share. So the ADR trades on U.S. stock markets as any domestic shares would. ADRs offer you investors a way to purchase stocks in overseas companies that would not otherwise be available. Foreign firms also benefit as ADRs enable them to attract American investors and capital without the hassle and expense of listing on U.S. stock exchanges. So it's basically a quick way for Asian companies, well, not just Asian companies, but any companies outside of America to get some exposure on the NASDAQ this way and do it a lot faster than going through an IPO or something. So here's your key takeaways: an American depository receipt, blah, blah, blah. We already said that. Looks like that's pretty much all it works, or how it is. Let's see how it works. Receipts are denominated in U.S. dollars. Yikes. The underlying security is held by a U.S. financial institution. Yikes. Often by an overseas branch. Yikes. ADR holders do not have to transact that trade in foreign currency or worry about exchanging the currency on the Forex markets. These securities are private. Well, that's obviously they're in U.S. dollars, so that was pretty clear. But those first few sentences, ooh, that's scary. That's scary who's got a hold of them. In order to begin offering ADRs, a bank must purchase shares on a foreign exchange. The bank holds the stock as inventory and issues an ADR for domestic trading. So actually, if you're buying an ADR, you're not even getting the shares. You are getting a receipt from the bank that says, hey, we've got your Asian ADR shares or your European ADR shares. We got them. Don't worry, they're in our bank. But yeah, they also are on the OTC. You'll see a lot more foreign companies, not just ADRs, just tons of foreign companies on the OTC markets. And there's a big, just to clear this up real quick, there's a lot of negativity around the OTC market. Pink sheets, gray sheets, those are the two bottom tiers of the OTC market. Absolutely trash. I agree. However, OTCQX is international, and that is where plenty of companies start at across overseas in the U.S. stock market. And those higher tiers of the OTC market are regulated almost as much as the NASDAQ or the NYSE. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. It's your preference what you want to do with that, but okay, so just nonsense there. So we have a bank sponsored ADR on behalf of the foreign company, and that's the foreign company usually pays the cost of issuing ADR and retains control over it while the bank handles the transaction with investors. Sponsored ADRs are categorized by what degree the foreign company complies with the SEC. That would like some more specific. I'm just going to give up on that. I'd like some more specifics on that. Bank also issues a unsponsored ADR. This certificate has no direct involvement, participation, or even permission from the foreign company. Now that's really wild. So a U.S. bank can just go buy shares of a foreign company and not even tell the company and just throw up an ADR on the stock market. Ooh boy, this is why I say like the stock market is dirty, man. It's not everything everybody thinks. It's all clean and butterflies and all that out here. It's not. The stock market's dirty. I'm trying to fix this little thing so the green screen doesn't look stupid. It's distracting me, but you know, whatever. Anyway, that's scary. And they're offering them with dividends too. Oh boy. All right, here's the levels. Level 1. Oh my God. So a level 1 ADR is where the foreign companies don't qualify or don't want to have their ADR listed on an exchange. This type of ADR can be used to establish a trading presence but not to raise capital. They're found in the OTC markets. That's kind of scary. Level 2, same thing. But they can't be used to raise capital. They have slightly more requirements from the SEC than do level 1 ADRs, but they get higher visibility and trading volume. And then level 3 are the most prestigious. With these, an issuer floats a public offering. It can be used. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, if you want to learn more about this here, I'll drop the link in there. But, well, let's see these pros and cons real quick. Easy to track and trade. They're easy to track. Available for U.S. brokers. Denominated in U.S. dollars. Look at these pros. This one I agree with. Offer portfolio. Well, no, hold on a second. Hold on. This is a bit of a lie, right? From what we just learned about ADRs. If it's a U.S. bank that just put out an ADR that the Asian company or whatever the company or whatever the country is for that company doesn't even know about, then you're actually not diversified in a foreign company. You are diversified in a bank who bought some shares of the foreign company. That means that they could dump the shares. There's all types of things that could happen with that shenanigans. So just from this information and seeing this, ADRs, obviously, that is a big part of why this thing went nonsense, because it's an ADR. Some bank was like, yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know what tier it is. I'm assuming it must be a tier 3 to be just initially put on the NASDAQ like this. We did see they're a huge company. They're part of the World Econ Forum. So it seems like a lot of sketchiness. There's so much sketchiness around this thing. Now, if you're bullish on the Great Reset and the World Econ Forum, then yeah, HKD could be a play if that's the case, if they are successful with this whole globalization. If you're like me, then I want to see the entire world short the piss out of this so that they do not do whatever they're planning, because to get this thing to run this big in this small a time, let's see what the shares are. I'm sure it's low float, but oh, actually it's not. It's not even that low float. 185 million. Yeah, so for this much volume, let's see how much volume this thing got on a day here. 2 million. Yeah, see, none of this makes sense. 158 million shares. Let's think about that. Only 2.5 million in volume. And this thing was able to run today. Let's see, is that the big? Did this come out today? No. But it ran today, what? Over $100 or something like that? Let me see. Yeah. Ran from 71, yeah, ran $130 with barely any volume. There's shenanigans galore with this play. This is one of those plays like when Elon Musk bought Twitter, or didn't buy Twitter, but was starting that whole shenanigans with Twitter. I'm always like this. If the big money is doing crazy shenanigans, I do not want to be in the way. Elon Musk, the whole Twitter thing, I said, I do not want to be trading against the world's richest man. We already know HKD, a lot of money behind it and a lot of shenanigans clearly in this thing. I don't want no part of it. I don't want no part of it. This is some type of crazy, crazy nonsense going on with it. Okay, let's see. We got a whole. Let me see. Get some more. This is the IPO. 16,000 American depository shares. Every 5 ADSs represent 2 of our. See, okay. So you're basically getting price ordinary shares, par value, 0.0001 per share. Let's see. Couldn't these holding companies just offer common shares instead of ADRs? Well, offering common shares depends on the actual company, right? Like Apple can't release common shares of Amazon. Common share offerings come from the actual companies. So Amazon can do a common share offering or a stock split like we just saw, but they could not do, like, a common offering is only specific to one company. So hopefully that clears that up. Okay. And there's no stupid questions, by the way. There's never any stupid questions unless they come from Daniel B. or One Life. Those are the only two people who ask stupid questions. People wanting to learn, those questions are not stupid. You are smart for asking questions. You are smarter than 90% of the population, because right now 90% of the population is not asking the questions you're asking. They're somewhere right now talking about abortion and Roe v. Wade and all of that stuff on social media, tearing each other's eyeballs out. You're asking the right questions. You're asking the smartest questions. So don't let anybody tell you any different, NASCAR. Yeah, those researches that I'm doing, are they benefiting me in my trading or investing? Well, absolutely, Daniel B. I'm not in the stock market. I'm in cryptos, earning, like I've been saying for the entire last 2 years, earning so many staking amounts. Do you want me to just, like, real quick, just start pulling up all my different staking account wallets just as fast as I can, the ones that I can remember off the top of my head, just so you can see that because I'm not in the stock market that hard right now, that I am actually still trading and making money? Will that make you feel better? Because I can do that. We can do that in like 3 seconds. Well, maybe not 3 seconds. There's quite a bit of them. Anyway, let's see. I do not know where HH Trader is. I think he's probably working. Most profitable trader strategy this year has been trading IPOs. It does involve a lot of, yeah, exactly. Yeah, now, see, that's the thing. If you can get the IPOs, and I have a video on this. I don't know if you watched that video, but if you can catch the IPOs coming out and you actually do the researches on the companies, you can get some really nice entries, especially if they come out on the market and drop a lot lower than the IPO price out the gate, especially if they're actually a really strong company. So Daniel B, you're crazy. There's I'm not even gonna get into you. There's a whole calendar of IPOs on the NASDAQ, son. Calm down. VRAX, you ordered shares at $5, opened up at 20. Before that one, pre-IPO at $5, opened up at 22. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, you can do that on Webull. You can request pre-IPO allocations. It shouldn't be just with Webull. I mean, Thinkorswim and Charles Schwab, all these other brokers that's been around for a long time, I'm sure you can do it with them too. If you can't, that's really crazy. But I always look at IPOs instead of trying to do the pre-IPO thing, which, well, I've gotten more into crypto, so I kind of am doing like pre-IPO things with the altcoin type of deals going on. But normally I would wait until, and this is me personally, I'm not knocking your strategy. I usually wait till the day of the IPO and watch it, see what it does, and see if it starts to build an uptrend over a couple of days, or if it's building a downtrend, or if it oversells. I like to see the actual open market, free market, well, I don't say free market in this market, but the market reaction to the IPO a little bit first before I get into them. But I know people who do what you're doing, and it's definitely can be profitable if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you could get destroyed very easily. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, there's not going to be any guarantees, because if you get a whole bunch of people wanting that not ADR, I'm stuck back on ADRs, on this, a whole bunch of people wanting a certain IPO beforehand, then they cannot, there's only a certain set amount of supply they can sell to the pre-IPO. So the more people that gets in, the less of the distribution you would get. I mean, that makes sense. See GovX start popping a little bit. No, 216. Okay. But hey, NASCAR, I appreciate all that information that you've helped provide, even though, see, that's great. This is what the Framework Fortune community is about. Researching together, asking questions together, figuring out together. Because why would you want to do it on your own? One brain is not good enough. We need lots of brains. I want your brains. Hit the subscribe button, like button if you'll give me your brains. I'm just kidding. Shout up. If you don't know what order chairs are, then shout up. I don't even know what you're talking about, old DB. So we will see what happens from here on. Well, tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow being Friday after this crazy rip in the NQ, it's going to be a weird one. I'm leaning towards we probably. It's so hard to say because we're right at that 13,000. The best thing to do is join the Framework Fortune Discord. I'll grab that invite real quick because I watch the futures and all that pretty much all day and night. I'm usually up half the night. But yeah, if you come in if you join the Framework Fortune Discord, it's free. There's no paywalls. Nothing with Framework Fortune has paywalls. We do not sell anything except maybe a shirt. Which actually, I don't even sell those because I do not even push those. Nobody even knows that I have shirts. That's how little I care about selling things. Let's see. What was I trying to do? Oh, yeah. The invite. I got distracted. Guys, I get distracted easy sometimes. I can't help it. It just happens. It's part of doing hours and hours of research. Because that's what happens to me. Maybe it is ADHD. You could be right on that. I don't know who said that. Somebody said that. But I'll go down these rabbit holes of research and I'll get distracted by other things. Did I get bread today? Is the Great Breadline Depression on hold? No. Are you guys dumb? Do you not know what's going on? There is a war between Ukraine and Russia. Do you not know what Ukraine is known for? I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to show you. Do you not know what their name is? Breadbasket of Europe. They are the breadbasket of a whole entire continent. If they are having a wheat shortage. Alright, that's enough of that. I don't even need to say any more words. Alrighty then. Yeah, Ukraine's the only company that grows wheat. Exactly. They're a company. They're a wheat company. The UKC on the stock market. The Ukraine Bread Company. Oh, go get back in the graveyard, zombie. Stop it. Stop it. Leave me alone. I've already had to destroy Trading Monkey yesterday, Meet Kevin this morning, and now Jerome Powell. I'm really tired and don't feel like destroying y'all today again. Anyway, earlier I mentioned about the Meet Kevin thing. If you are into the crypto space, Meet Kevin put out a video earlier that said he got scammed by crypto again. Axie Infinity exposed. It went with less than 3 minutes. This video that I responded with in 2 minutes and 53 seconds, I dispelled this guy. Review. I guess I've got and Meet Kevin's whole entire BS nonsense that they tried to post and say Axie Infinity was a scam. 3 minutes is all it took me. Well, not even 3 minutes. 2 minutes and 53 seconds is all it took me. So I've been on a warpath today. If you haven't checked that out, I'll drop it here in the description, or not the description, but in the links for you. And then yesterday I had to destroy Trading Monkey. I'm not the great destroyer. I just, there's a lot of nonsense, a lot of misinformation going on YouTube and mainstream media and everything like that. And Meet Kevin blatantly lied on his video. That whole entire thing was a lie. I responded as fast as the Axie Infinity CEO responded. And it was obvious. It was obvious what happened. They took all this time looking at all the wallet addresses for Axie Infinity because Axie's Ronin bridge got hacked. Anyway, you can watch the video and see it. That's why I said I'm going to put a new playlist up for Framework Fortune called the Framework Fortune Graveyard and One Life and DB. Y'all's videos are going right on that playlist as well, where you guys got put in the grave. And you just won't stay down. Stay down. Stay down. All right. Kevin from Home Alone. Yeah, he grew up. He grew up and he started him a YouTube channel, man, and tried to run for governor. Interim governor for California as a Democrat. That didn't work out too well. A Democrat trying to run against Gavin Newsom, who is the warlord leader of California. I don't know what they did to him. Ever since then, he's been really off in a lot of his videos and the way he's talking. Like, he just looks like something wrong with him. So I kind of almost feel bad for him, except for the fact he's got 2 million subscribers and blatantly put out a clickbait misinformation campaign against a crypto PD blockchain game that it was just all misinformation. It was just lies. So yeah, I'm going to call out anybody who says lies and nonsense. Sorry. I don't know what you mean. I'm not going to sit by and let people get hurt because these assholes out here want to try to make an extra dollar by putting "I got scammed by crypto" in their text box and blame Axie Infinity for them being stupid and not doing their own research. Oh, and then there was the Trading Monkey thing yesterday, but whatever. Trading Monkey's small beans. That was just out of principle of him wasting my time. Real quick though, before I call it a day, let's go through and see what got some action today. Because as I said, I didn't really watch too much today in the stock market, doing other things. Okay, so TBLT, this one has been getting some action. I haven't actually even, well, yeah, I did back here. Well, I actually traded it back here. Boy, I was early on that one. I just mistimed it quite a bit. Oh well. Move that out of there. But we can see this previous support line. Now we've got an uptrend coming from that. Looks like right there. We are off of that uptrend. The 200-day is also, let me just put this up here. This is actually the hour chart. So this is the 200-hour moving period, moving average period, whatever. Like I said, I'm tired, guys. Give me a break. It's running right into 650 right here. You see that strong resistance across there. Let me see. Let me get a line right. There we go. And then we've got the downtrend right there. So a lot of resistance at this area that it is clearly showing on TBLT, where all day today it has not been able to break that. It's been testing some, but getting rejected multiple times. If it could break over 650, let's go into a daily chart. Look at that. Yeah, so also on the daily, the 50-day moving average is right there as well that it's running into. And we can extend this downtrend that we just put on there to back here. And we could probably scroll back further. Yeah, okay, God, Jesus, this play is horrendous looking on the rest of the chart. So if it does break that 650, we got some room up to maybe 7, 8, something in there. And then we're going to run into some strong resistance, probably about $8.50, $9. $10 is always strong support and resistance. After that, it has this whole line of support that was held up over there for 3 months, and then it finally cracked through that. So that is going to be major resistance, even if it can continue to climb up. And of course, that's at the $20 hold number, so it makes perfect sense. So a lot of fighting this has to do. And on the daily chart, you can see how rough this fight has been. So that one, I don't know if I mean, you can keep it on watch, but I'd be a little concerned about it until it gets some type of more upward momentum. BTTX up 30%. On the daily chart, though, this looks like, yeah, it just gapped up and then just gave back all of its gains. So trash there. CMRA. CMRA is a wily little bugger, isn't it? So your uptrend is way down here. It had that huge sell-off, but it broke that downtrend already. We got a downtrend. Looks like it's forming right about 370. Well, actually 350. That's perfect. Okay. So more than likely, this rejection will continue, and you probably see this thing back down sometime next week. And possibly could see a bounce off there. I'm not really sure why it's pushing up. Okay, they got some preclinical results. That's nothing. Some patents, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, I don't think it's a company that was like super amazing if I did look into it just by looking at the news and the chart pattern. But if it did happen to break $5, it could have room up to that 200-day moving average. But breaking that 200-day moving average, I don't think would happen right away. GovX, we already know it's a monkeypox stock, not doing as well as it should have, with SIGA breaking out. A lot of selling pressure. And you can see on this daily chart where we have this whole resistance zone, right, from about 225 up to 250. The 200-day is actually sitting right on top of the bottom of the resistance zone there. So we've got a whole bunch of resistance for this to break out, including a downtrend there. Yeah, more than likely this is going to have a pullback unless for some reason it comes out with some type of news. Let's see, what are they talking about? Positive study results for Ebola virus. They're talking about Ebola virus. Monkeypox testing now 60,000 to 80,000 per week. Okay. I don't know. That's iffy on that one. TNXP, this is, I believe, another. Yeah, this is a vaccine monkeypox stock. Also, they're trying to Oh, they got, let's see, they got approved a supplement to the biological license. But is that for TONX or not? No, they are seeking regulatory. This was actually today. They are seeking. Where did that go? Right here. Seeking regulatory approval for and conduct a phase 1 clinical trial study to develop TNX 801 as a vaccine to protect against monkeypox and smallpox. Phase 1. They've not even started phase 1. So that's crazy. Basically they're a trash penny stock, and they were like, oh God, monkeypox. Let's say we're going to make a vaccine. I mean, that's literally all they've done, right? Until they actually start doing some phases and some trials, which even then they don't mean nothing until about phase 3. That's a little sketchy. Now, I mean, maybe it gets sentiment from monkeypox stocks running like SIGA, and if GovX breaks out, it could follow with some of that sentiment. On the daily, let's see here, on the daily chart, 50 days at 220 looks like. If it could break up over 225, 290 would be very strong. Of course, 250. So you actually got 225, 250, 290, and $3 before this thing could possibly let loose. Because right here, the next resistance would be about $7 through here before we really got slowed down. If we could break up over all this previous resistance, but that's a ways to go. I mean, this thing is just barely uptrending. Scroll this back. Yeah, I mean, it just started uptrending, so I want to see a couple more days of this uptrend continue in that 50-day break before I would think about that. PHGE, what is this? I don't know. That looks like trash. Let's see, JAK. Boy, that had a big gap up. And you can see where it broke. Look at that triple top there. 3 tests. And you got a nice double bottom. This is you got a couple of different patterns in here if you want to look at it that way. This would be a double bottom. This is also an inverse head and shoulders. So yeah, it must have been, they came out with good earnings. It would be my guess. Yeah, they reported better than expected Q2 results. But even though they came out with good earnings, they shot up and gave back most of the gains. As far as today, more than likely seeing that, they could drop down some more tomorrow because there's literally nothing through here to hold it up except maybe 20. We went over SICA already. That thing is just going too crazy right now to mess with. RYTM, I think. This is another pharmaceutical. They just reported some earnings. Does have a pretty steep uptrend on this daily chart. Oh gosh, look at all this resistance. Draw this line right straight across there. That's where we're running into. Tons of resistance. And then this looks like this IPO'd right around $20 or uplisted or whatever the case was. I don't know, but something like that. So if it could break 15, it could fill that gap up to 20. If it breaks 20, then it will be bullish overall. This could be one to keep an eye on. Let's see, 50 million shares. Because it did just have that nice bounce. Actually, that's beautiful. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. That double bottom right there. Off of that previous highs of these two candles. Double bottom, boom, bounce off of the trend line. So yeah, it just needs to continue up this trend line until it breaks over 15. Then that could be getting real interesting. What is VRAX? This is another pharmaceutical company. Looks like they just came out a few days ago as well. Now they do have a nice uptrend, but this thing has ran our $10 all the way up to 24 today, so $14 move over 4 days. We do got to connect the downtrend here, these two wicks. We're basically forming a big wedge pattern. We need to see that wedge pattern break pretty much $25. $25 could hold after that break. Then we could see that actually move some more. Only 11 million shares and float, pretty low float. Let's see. What do you mean Monkey didn't deserve that? He wasted a whole hour of my time. He challenged me to come on his live stream and then told me and then blocked me after I was ready to go. He deserved every bit he got. Me didn't deserve it. He wasted a whole hour. Time is our most valuable asset. If you waste your time, you are wasting money. And not only money, time is more valuable than money because you can get money back. You can't get time back. And to me personally, my time is very valuable. Whether Monkey or anybody else respects that or not, I don't care. But you sit there and waste my time after you invited me on, then yeah, we're going to have a problem. Monkey deserved everything he got. And I didn't go that hard on him. It was a 2-minute video of me just messing with him, little pokes. Wasn't that big a deal. Why are you still trading these stocks? Why not jump to mid and high float companies and trade the same? Well, I was doing that, but again, I'm not in the stock market right now because I do not want to be caught up in this nonsense and chaos. I'm making more money in cryptos and in blockchain. So yes, I could be in the stock market making money too, but this is not my only income stream. I'm going to keep doing live streams and keep doing an analysis and all of that. But until we see for sure that the Feds are going to reverse course and we're going to go into an artificial bull run, I'm not touching it. I may throw a little bit of money back in here, maybe next week and do a little bit of day trading here and there, but I'm not going to put a whole lot in it because, like I said, I'm bearish on the U.S. dollar. So me putting my money into the stock exchange is putting it in the U.S. dollar, right? Even if I put it in a stock, I still have to sell the stock for U.S. dollar to get the value out of there. Where with other, like cryptos, I can sell for any other currency in the world. So if something happens, I'm fine. I did email him. Did you not watch the video? All you gotta do on the monkey thing is go watch his live stream. I did email him. I'm not gonna talk about the monkey thing anymore. I got bigger fish to fry than that poor little fellow. He needs some help. Honestly, I feel bad for him. Not from what I said, but just feel bad for him in general as a trader because he's really struggling. He's struggling as a trader. He needs some help, and that's what I was trying to do was reach out to him and try to help him out. But like I said, waste my time. Okay. Let's see. It's not a stock or crypto comparison. If you're trading on your channel, not move on. Well, yes, I just moved all the money out last Friday because I knew this Fed announcement was coming out of my trading account and moved it into cryptos. Do we want to go look at the crypto charts and see how good of an idea that turned out to be? So that's what I'm saying. Now that we have this Fed announcement, I'll come back in, I'll put some money back in and start doing some trading again, but not I'm not going back heavy until I see the Fed's reverse course. Or if we see the actual market crash and we see the NASDAQ come down to pre-quantitative easing levels. If we see that, then I'll definitely be all in the stock market, ready to go for the rebound at some point, because it's going to, we have that big of a crash that we possibly could have. That's when I want to be in. I don't want to be in the falling knife. NASDAQ still looks like a falling knife. Whereas like Bitcoin, well, I don't want to say Bitcoin, but Ethereum, Atom, the other projects that I'm in, they've already fell for the year. The knife has already fallen. They were down 100%, and now they're starting to rebound. So, and that's why I keep saying I think we're going to see the NASDAQ finally crash, money flood out of it, which will give a momentary bump to the US dollar, but then that will be switched over into cryptos, gold, silver, commodities, all that type of stuff. And especially if they reverse course and do stimmy checks, which I think, this is all speculation right here, what I'm saying. If they do reverse course and their idea is to do the stimmy checks and all that to get people to put US dollar back in the stock market, if they don't put it back in the stock market and do what I'm saying, and they go and put it in cryptos and gold and silver, well, that takes, that leaves the US dollars back into the supply, and that actual value moved out of the supply of US dollar and into a different asset. So if that's the case that happens, then this could backfire and blow up in their face at that point if they do reverse course and do all that. That's what I'm expecting to happen over the long run, probably by January, maybe March. We might have to get a little bit of the political nonsense out of there with this election going on before we start to see anything transpire like that. But that is definitely... Well, I disagree with you, though, One Life. I don't think it's low float versus mid float. It's the same technical analysis. It's looking at the same charts. These candlesticks, I can go over to... I can pull up anything over here on TradingView. It doesn't matter. Gold, silver... here's the gold chart. It's still red and green candles. PKT, a small crypto project. Red and green candles. If I pull up corn or beans, anything, it's going to be red and green candles. The float is just the supply, right? But it's not only the supply is also the amount of sellers who are adding back into the supply. So if you know where the sellers are going to be selling at and where the buyers and shorters are going to be covering at, then you know where to get in at. You want to be getting in where the shorters are covering, because they are getting out of their selling positions. That's bringing the price of the stock down, and then they're going to cover, causing buying pressure, and that will attract other traders to see, oh, this is bouncing. Those shorters are covering. They're getting out of this. The selling pressure is gone. Now the longs can come in and take back over and push it up, whether it be a 5-minute candle or over a 2-month period of time. It doesn't matter. All these assets, they're all the same. The candles are all the same. The bottom line is, where is the money at? And the NASDAQ has been going down, and all the money has been flooding out of it. Crypto's already went down. The money flooded out of it, but they're starting to go back up. Same thing we just saw. Silver, a lot of the money came out of silver there when we hit the spike up here, but we've now reached this point where shorters like, I guess, this price, so they started covering. You can see this weird little buying right here, and now buyers say, okay, good, the downtrend's over, this immediate short-term downtrend. Let me activate this guy here. Come here. Come here, you're the wrong one. Come here. Why aren't you clicking? Okay. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay. Hold on. Let's just get rid of that one and get a new line. That one went way down the page. That was the problem. Okay, so there we go. So on silver, you see shorting. That's why it's going straight down. The shorters have control. They're selling it, tearing it up. Sideways movement, covering. Look at this pop off of the bottom of the short. $20, $19.95. $20 is a strong whole support and resistance number. Shorters covered there because they figured $20 was going to hold up. A little bit of buy and pop from them covering. Then some sideways movements of maybe some more later shorters covering, but buyers and sellers fighting it out through here. And then when we see this rejection start to happen, we actually even had a double top right here on silver. Double top right there. And then it got rejected. The shorters saw that, took it over, shorted it all the way down to where they just shorted it to here at 1850. And you see them start to cover through here, adding this little buy-in. And then now that they're out of the way, the buyers have come in, and it's pushed up and broke over that previous shorting time period of that downtrend. So it doesn't matter whether it's a low float stock or it's gold or anything. The analysis is going to be the same as far as the candles. The candles just represent buying and selling. The volume just represents buying and selling. Everything on your whole entire flat platform just represents buying and selling. That's it. It's just transactions. So if you can trade mid floats or high float stocks, then you can go and trade corn futures. If you're using technical analysis, there's no difference. And if you think there is, you're going to have to show me how, because I don't see it. Let's see. What do you mean without fear of dilution? Do you realize what you just said? You said you can hold mid and high cap stocks without worry of dilution. Amazon just did a stock split. So did Google. You don't consider a stock split dilution? Those are two of the top companies, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody will short this strong market? All right. You think I'd do 90% better? I mean, if those were hot, if they were better rippers and stuff than what I'm making in crypto right now, then yeah, I mean, I probably would do 90% better. But when I'm gaining 90%, 100% APRs on new crypto projects and getting airdrops and playing these play to earn games that are earning me all these free monies and mining the PKT and just so many different revenue streams that are consistently building and compounding. I mean, and we're at the bottom, it looks like, of the crypto market. So if this is the start of an altcoin bull run like I've been predicting, then I stand to make way more money than you'll probably make this entire year day trading the stock market. And that's just the truth about it. Now cryptos could crash and maybe go to zero. That is something that I will not rule out, because I don't rule out anything. There's nothing 100% in any investing or trading or anything, but that is very low probability to happen. There's way too much money, too many countries already using blockchain technology. Japan, their central bank uses Ripple to move money around. XRP will be probably one of the main currencies used by central banks as they start to roll out more of their central bank digital currencies. So like this, I mean, it's a new thing. But yeah, I'm not going to stop trading stocks. Again, like I said, I just don't want to be in the stock market trading at a time when the NASDAQ almost crashed under 12,000 yesterday. And today we're at 13,000, all because some old white man with glasses read off of a piece of paper. like he never even looked at people. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing I'm saying. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Like, I don't know. I didn't say it was a bad thing. I didn't say it was a bad thing about them doing a stock split. You said that there was no dilution in the mid and high caps. All I simply said was, do you not consider what Amazon and Google just did as dilution, which you said yes to? So you agree that's the end of the debate. That should not be anything after that you need to follow with One Life. You've already agreed with what I said. I don't know what you're arguing for still. But anyway, guys, we will see what happens. Let's see, what is tomorrow, Friday? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I don't know yet if I will be live streaming in the morning. Because it being Friday, I might. I don't know. It's just going to be a weird day tomorrow. I'm going to be pretty busy. And then I just really expect the market to be pretty weird. But if you haven't yet, go join the Discord. And I will let you know in the Discord pretty early in the morning. And also join H&H Traders live streams. He live streams most days of the week for live day trading of low float stocks. And I'm usually in his live stream chat talking for a little bit if I'm not live streaming myself on the day. So you can find me there and in the Discord, like I said. And then also go check out new member of the Framework Fortune Media Network, Reliable Rudy. And in fact, I'm going to plug him a little bit more. No homo, because I know how that sounded. But I'm doing it. It's okay, Reliable Rudy. It's okay. Just let it happen. Oh. Yes, this is why you got to get off the stream, because now I'm going to start talking real crazy. So, Reliable Rudy right here. Within the last 3 days, he's put out 6 videos. He is a workhorse. Go subscribe to him. He's went from 0 subscribers to 27 in that 3 days. Let's get him over 100 so he can get an actual youtube.com/ReliableRudy. And then HH Trader. You guys, most of y'all know him already. But we need to get him to 1,000 subs. This 210 subs is not right. This man puts in so much work for analysis for you guys. Y'all need to be sharing every single live stream that he does every morning. Share it on Twitter, everywhere else. Because he doesn't have to do this, you know. He doesn't have to. He could easily just sit at home and, well, not sit at home. He does other things that he makes money off of. But, you know, let's get him to 1,000 subs. We got to get him there. It's HH is way past due for 1,000 subs. Share, like, comment, subscribe, everything, all over HH Traders channel and Reliable Rudy. And also, if you haven't yet and you like the P2E game and the crypto, you can check out frameworkfortune.com, which you can check out. Find out all the links to all of our creators, content creators in the Framework Fortune Media. But for PDE Gaming and Blockchain, Framework Fortune Crypto, and then also our moderator here in the live chat, Stonks and Chomps Gaming, has her Blockchain PDE Gaming channel as well. I don't think I missed anybody, but maybe I did. If I did, I'm sorry about that. But anyways, I'm going to call it an evening, guys. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Guys, enjoy the rest of your nights, and we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. I'm out. I'm done. Enough roasting the